Hey, you guys, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about thesis statements. So, I know you've heard a ton of them, a ton of information about it, but I did want to just review it. So, it does make an argumentative assertion. So, people might say that everything is an argument, and typically it is. You make a statement, you want a person to hear you. So, and we're not talking like let's argue. We're just saying something that an idea that you're putting forth. So, when you do this in a thesis statement, you not only put forth your idea, but you also sprinkle in the main prongs or main pillars of your paper. Like, what are you going to be talking about in that paper? What are the 3 factors? What are the 2 factors? Maybe sometimes even the 1 factor that can be broken down into subtopics. But it's a promise to the reader. I promise I'm going to talk about this, and these are the reasons how I'm going to back up my statement. It's focused. You're not going to say assisted suicide should be banned or whatever. So because why? We want to know why. We want to know how the reader wants to know how we're going to be going with this. It's located at the end of the introduction. Absolutely, typically in a narrative, you may not even have a thesis statement. It might be implied throughout the entire actual story. In fact, fairy tales definitely have implied thesis statements, and which is the lesson. In an introduction, it could be two paragraphs, it could be 3 paragraphs, but nonetheless, it would be the thesis statement would be at the end of the introduction. Sometimes it'll be expressed in several sentences. Typically not. Typically, it's in at least the papers that I'm going to expect from you, it's going to be precise in 1 sentence. You can lead up to it with background information, but that's background information, and that information is in your introduction. So you do capture the writer's position. So yeah, it's the last sentence. It's clear and succinct. It is arguable. It points where the essay is going to go. Consider using a subordinating conjunction, and I should probably highlight that and give you a link to all those. And then it also indicates how you're going to prove your point. So don't just announce the topic. Again, assisted suicide should be banned. Again, it's the same thing. We must save the whales. It's got to be backed up, or instead of we, just make it a little more broad. Again, don't use to be. Yeah, don't use to be. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. And then, of course, take away there are or here are. Avoid definitely these words, and these are my banned words: interesting, negative, exciting, unusual, difficult. Avoid abstract words such as society, values, or culture. Avoid jargon, unless your audience is familiar with that. So here are some formulas. This is a subordinating conjunction, although, so it kind of prefaces jumping into your whole statement. Although most readers of, I don't know, Their Eyes Were Watching God have argued that, I don't even know at this point, closer examination shows blah, blah, blah. Okay, so we can say, although most readers of Their Eyes Were Watching God have argued that using dialect in writing of African Americans portrays them in a negative light. However, upon closer examination, shows that writing in an authentic dialogue establishes credibility and celebrates the diverse dialects in our country. So you could get it as complicated as that, or not. So phenomenon X is a result of the combination of 3 things, and then those 3 things would be the pillar of your paper. These 3 things would be topics. Each of these 3 things might be 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, 3 paragraphs, broken down into subtopics. It's up to you. There is a thesis statement handout that I'll show you in just a minute. Here are some formulas. The first part can be any event, problem, or idea, and the second part would be state your opinion. So again, even though it's a subordinated conjunction, dessert is my favorite part of the meal, that's a problem because, you want to eat the healthy stuff first. Getting vitamins and protein by eating meat and vegetables is vital, so we don't want to curb our appetite with calories that are not healthy for our body. We want to get those vitamins and protein in first. So, yeah, so just want to make mention of that. Again, numbered statement, state your opinion and the reasons, and then this time you would have a list, a little more of a list. Some good or bad thesis statements. You tell us. What do you think? Heavily taxing and increasing the price of cigarettes is essentially a tax on the poorest Americans. So again, if you go back, does it point to where that essay is going? Can you actually kind of outline the body paragraphs within that thesis? You want to make sure that you can do that. And then what is this person actually arguing? Think about that. And then a vegan diet, while a healthy and ethical way to consume food, tends to elicit an off-putting sense of entitlement and also limits one's exposure to different cultural food experiences. So think about that in just a second. University athletes should be compensated. Okay, so just so you know, state of Michigan just passed a law that allows university athletes to get perks from companies that sponsor them, just so you know. So things are moving in that direction. University athletes should be compensated for their service to the university because the athletes need extra income for school expenses. They will gain valuable job experience, and because it is the ethical thing to do. These athletes are what brings in money to the college, and lots of it. So, I don't know. Can you see where this person is going with this statement? And here's another one. Having a diverse group of people in an office setting leads to richer ideas, more cooperation, and more empathy between people with different skin colors. So let's see how he did. Alrighty then. Here we have heavily taxing and increasing the price of cigarettes is essentially a tax on the poorest Americans. So this is like a declarative statement. It's not really like arguing anything. So yeah, it's essentially a tax, but where are you going with this? So is that good or bad? What are you saying? There's no direction, there's an opinion, but the reasons are not listed. Veganism, we have an opinion and it's stated and the direction is given. So topics, 1, 2, 3 paragraphs maybe, each would be one, tends to elicit an off-putting sense of entitlement. And then the other prong or pillar of that main idea or that main argument is it also limits one's exposure to different cultural food experiences. So those two topics are going to be covered and they're stated in that thesis. Here's the university athlete one. So if you notice, university athletes should be compensated. That is the actual argument. And then here are the reasons. Need extra income, and I know firsthand that they do because that sport takes up 95% of their time. And they have no money to buy extra food or treats or anything. Next, number 2, they will gain valuable job experience. Absolutely. You want that internship experience, that real life experience, just not only to weed out what you don't want to do, but also to get a flavor of what you might want to do. And then because it's the ethical thing to do. And so that would be the third prong. That would be the third pillar. That would be the third topic. 1, 2, 3 paragraphs on all of these 3 prongs. And then having a diverse group of people. So again, we need a diverse group of people. One reason is richer ideas. One reason is for cooperation. And one reason is for more empathy between people with different skin colors and backgrounds. So again, there's specificity as far as where you're going to be going, where the person is going to be going with these thesis statements. They're clear. An opinion is stated. So yeah, I hope this is helpful. This little handout up here is phenomenal. I think it's from DeKalb University. It was really hard to actually get the source, like click the link to go to the source, but it helps. It shows bad ones and then it shows good ones. So hopefully this will help you guys, and let me know if I can help. Have a great day.